Hello and welcome to Community Health Journal. We begin today with the story of an Oregon woman who owes her improved quality of life to the expertise of a Tri-Cities neurology specialist. For much of her life, Nancy McClenahan of Hermiston lived with severe pain in her legs, so much so it impacted her ability to walk, to really live. That is until she met Dr. Hui-Juan Zhang, a neurologist with Kadlec Clinic. It was Dr. Zhang who brought Nancy the answers she had been looking for decades. Nancy had been dealing with excruciating leg pain, including spasms that would strike at any time. It greatly incapacitated her, ultimately putting her legs in braces.
I wore a full leg brace that went from my toes to my hip. I required a cane sometimes. If the brace was ever in the shop, I used 2 forearm crutches to get around. It was exhausting to get around, but I did it because I'm stubborn. So I spent a lot of time in my rolly chair at work because I work with disabled adults, so couldn't let anything slow me down because, couldn't look bad in front of them.
Eventually, Nancy ended up in Dr. Zhang's office. Prior doctors had suspected a disorder called Dystonia, but a different form. When she visited Dr. Zhang, she noticed something in Nancy's initial patient assessment that took her down another path.
So when I examined her, and while she was in the sitting position, and actually I was not totally convinced that she had a dystonia. Because when she was in the sitting position, typically with dystonia, we will identify the muscles contributing to the excessive muscle contracting. While she was sitting, she's actually doing quite good. But when she started walking, the problem, arise.
The type of dystonia Nancy has is very rare. It afflicts just 1 in 150,000 people. The doctor prescribed a drug called Tegretol. Finally, an answer.
The good news about this condition is very responsive to treatment. And there's no clear diagnostic test we can do. It's based on the clinical history and the physical examination. So, when I talked to Nancy about possibility of this diagnosis, we will decide to maybe give a try for this medication.
It has made a huge difference, and dreams that I'd put on a shelf, I'm starting to take off a shelf because I wanted to be a volunteer EMT. But you can't be an EMT, and be in a wheelchair. It's kind of hard to do that. So now I can take that off the shelf and say, hey, this is a possibility again. Running a marathon, that's a possibility again. Not sure how easy it'll be, but, who knows? Now I have a chance to find out.
If you didn't gather by now, Nancy has quite a personality and is very driven. She loves roller derby, so much so she was an official even though she couldn't skate. But now she can.
Now I'm taking roller skating lessons because I want to be a roller derby ref. And so that's a bit of a change from, starting to think, a wheelchair would come in handy to, hey, wheels on my shoes, that's even better.
And roller skating is allowed.
Roller skating, I think I told her we have to be a little bit, cautious and careful. She can do probably most of her function as long as she's just taking super precautious. We never can promise a cure for any patients, but we'll always try our best to help patient, to care, and to improve quality of life to any degree.
Nancy is grateful to Dr. Zhang, her family, and friends who have supported her through her physical struggles. While she's cautious about her road to recovery, so far she's thrilled.
It's kind of nice that after 18 years, we found someone that actually knew what they were talking about and was willing to say, okay, let's try something different. I've been living with the diagnosis of I don't know for a very long time, and it's nice to close off that chapter and move on and say, okay, here's the diagnosis, and here's how we're going to manage it and move forward, and that is awesome.
So the next time you take in a roller derby bout featuring the Atomic City Roller Girls, you might just see a familiar face, making sure the competitors are following all the rules.